Alright, Brakataya Hawa, Brakataya Shai, Brakataya Hawa, Brakataya Shai, Brakataya Hawa, Brakataya Shai, Brakataya Hawa Bashem, Hawa Shai Bashem, Hawa Kakodash, the blood of the apostle, we rule by that great millstone. Peace and blessing to the brothers pushing this word in sincerity and in truth, fighting that good fight, holding firm, you know. How I has about a video to the spirit. Oh yeah, how Bashem Shai. And I was reading the book of Ezra, second Ezra, and the prayer chapter 6. Ezra, he was inquiring of the Lord and asking the Lord down in the last few verses, still from verse 57 says, and now, O Yahweh, behold, these heathens which have even been reputed as nothing have begun to be Lord over us and to devour us. But we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, right? The Lord called us the firstborn, as well as my son is my firstborn, in Exodus chapter 4. Thy only begotten, called Yahweh Shai is the Lord's only begotten, right? So that is to see how precious the nation of Israel is unto Yahweh, right? It goes on to say, and thy fervent lover are given unto their hands. If the world now be made for our sake, so that would be as I saying, if the world be made for our sake, why do we not possess an inheritance? So this world here, this world we in, this world we in here now. Everything was made for our sakes. John 3:16 say what? For God so loved the world. And we know what our world speaking about. We know what our world speaking about, that world talking about. A nation of people, an immense of people, in a group of people, right? Which is the nation of Israel, right? It speaks about the nation of Israel. It says, so like here, if the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure? Right, so you're asking, if this place was made for us, why we at the bottom? And the angel went and give him the answer. And then I went to lesson and a bit more. It says, and when I had made an end, 2 Ezra 7:1, of speaking these words, there was sent unto me the angel which had been sent unto me at night afore. And he said unto me, up Ezra, and hear the word that I am come to tell thee. And I said, speak on, my God. Then said he unto me, the sea is set in a wide place, that it may be deep and great, but put the case, the entrance were narrow and like a river. Who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? So Ezra saying, so the angel Uriel saying, in a nutshell, in order for you to enter in order for you to get through the go through to inherit the goodness, you had to go through the hell in order for you to appreciate that. In order for you to appreciate the heavenly kingdom, and in order for us to be righteous judges, we had to learn about the both sides, about bad, about good. Right? So it says verse 6, there is also another thing. A city is built and set upon a broad.
And one only path between them both.
Call yourself. A city is built and set upon a broad field, and is full of all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, and is set in a dangerous place to fall. Like if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water, and one only path, between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that it could but one man go there at a time. If this city now were given unto a man of an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? Then again, it comes to say the same thing, right? He had to go through the water, he had to go through the fire in order for him to inherit the goodness. And that is what we had to go try now, right? Because why? It says, and I said, it is so, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so also is Israel's portion, because for their sake I made the world. For our sake, the Lord said he made the world. And Abraham, when Abraham, oh, you said like, and when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that now is done. Then were the entrance of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. They are but few and evil, full of perils and very painful. For the entrance of the elder world were wide and sure, and brought immortal fruits. If then they that live labor not to enter these street and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them. And read that up, it says, if then they that live labor not to enter, right? So if you in labor, make your body like that living sacrifice, laboring in the truth to enter into the street and vain thing, they can never receive those that lay up for them. They ain't go ever inherit. They're supposed to inherit. Now therefore, why disquisite thou thyself, seeing thou art but a corruptible man? And why art thou moved, whereas thou art but mortal? Why hast thou not considered this in thy mind, this thing that is to come rather than which is present? So that what Ezra saying. Now Ezra, you really say the things to come, the future things to come is better than the present, because presently he under curses, but in the future, he show you end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. In the future, where you're gonna inherit is the kingdom. So what we had to continue doing this work. Regardless of where we had to go through on this end, we had to continue doing the work of the Heavenly Father. You know, a brother named Big Brother Booker, you know, who brought this truth to us down here. Regardless of what he went through, he knew what he needed to do to enter into the kingdom. But he always continued, nothing never stopped the brother from going and do this work, and that in itself is an inspiration. You know, he never stopped doing the works. He always continued to do the works. Why hast thou not considered 16? Again, in thy mind, this thing that is to come, rather than that which is present. Then I said, O Yahweh, O Sulak, O Lord, that bearest rule thou hast ordained in thy law, that righteous should inherit these things, but the ungodly should perish. Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things, and hope for wide. For they that have done wickedly have suffered the straight things, and yet shall not see the wide. Let me see. That is it. And he said unto me, verse 19, there is no judge above Yahweh, and none that had understanding above the highest. For there be many that perish in this life because they despise the law of Yahweh that is set before them. So what did they do? What the nation of Israel did? They disobeyed the laws, the commandments and statutes of the Heavenly Father. Right? So that is why we in this predicament, why we in this position we are in right now. It says how for God had given straight commandments to such as came what they should do to live, even as they came, and what they should observe to avoid punishment. Nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him, but spake against him, and imagined vain things. So the Lord gave us these commandments to go abide, to abide by them. You know, things we need to do to avoid being cast out or put to death. So that is why the reason why we're going through right now. Because our foreparents sin, and that sin, we inherit that sin. Alright? And in order for we for that to be reversed, we had to turn back to the way we used to live, we used to think. Serve the Heavenly Father, and the Lord will smile upon us. So with that I give all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Akakodash. So next time I say Shalom.